Hi everybody, friends of YouTube channel and friends of the foundation, Jeffrey Journey and Legacy Foundation. I want to share with you today a story related to one of the playlist, very important cases that I want to help, that we help each other. And I hope that all of you send us videos if you have stories about cases of sepsis. I want to talk about sepsis in hospitals, and I'm going to talk also about the case of Jeffrey. I'm going to explain to you that first, in case that you don't know, sepsis is infection in the blood. It's an infection that has already reached the bloodstream in the body. And when this happens, is extremely severe and danger. The patient is in a very critical stage, and the probabilities of death are quite high. To fight back sepsis, infection in the blood, is not easy, and is a critical medical situation. So every single time as an information, I want to pass this to you. Every single time that you are in a hospital and you heard that your loved one or you have an infection, it doesn't matter if they have been talking before about UTI infection. If you see them running and talking about infection, and you see that they going to put an IV of an antibiotic to you, and I'm going to give you 3 names of antibiotics for you to pay attention if you see, in case you see these names, these antibiotics names. Anyway, all that you need to do, and you need to be very strong about this, you need to ask, can you please tell me if the infection is in the blood? They want to play it low. First of all, for the most part, they will hide it. They will try their best not to tell you. If you ask, they will try their best to play it like safety. It's okay. It's complicated, you think, but it's okay. When the situation is critical, even then, they try to kind of play it and hide it. The reason is because in these days, sadly, many physicians, many hospitals will discharge you with sepsis, and will discharge you with sepsis even to your own home, even back to your nursing home. They said that it's because the antibiotic is in the IV, in the antibiotic at the end of the day. No. It's not like that. The infection is in the blood. If you are not in a IMU room, you need to be moved to an ICU room. Because in whatever moment you can be in critical condition, which you already are. They need to be checking your hydration. They need to be checking all your organ functions constantly. They need to be checking if you have fever. They need to be checking your lung, your oxygen levels. They need to be checking all your vital signals. They need to be checking your blood all the time to see how the infection, how the antibiotic is working in your system or not. Because you can die, as Jeffrey did. I learned, being in so many hospitals, that sepsis, something that is so critical, something that can kill so many people, you can get it in hospitals so easy. And then is a lie that they have sold to us. To wash their hands like Pontius Pilatus with Jesus. They said, oh, we need to get you out of the hospital super quickly. We need to get you out of the hospital. But you know, the longer that you are in a hospital, the most danger you suffer to get a bacteria, to get... You know? Yeah, it's true. It's true. But it's not as they are saying it. The reason is because what is happening in hospitals is that they can put in their faces 250 masks. They can get to your bedroom all the time and wash their hands 1,000 times with the sanitizer. They can put the gloves all that they want. But procedures about cleanliness, how to clean a patient, those ones are the procedures. The standards are terrible. So, to give you an example, if your relative has briefs, I'm gonna say diapers, but if they have this, briefs on, they're supposed to change them, because sometimes the earring, it just get, like when you have a baby and you don't change the diaper, and that acid and that earring stay there for a long time, many hours, and get a UTI infection. The UTI infection sometimes is just a UTI infection. Other times it depends the bacteria of what type of bacteria is, or how long you have had they have let run the UTI. It goes in the blood. And right there, out of a stupid UTI infection, you get sepsis. Sepsis always will compromise your immune system. And also, sometimes the patient needs to be cleansed, because when and did not pee, but had to go the number 2. They had to poop. Sometimes it's diarrhea. So when they come and clean them, but they don't cleanse them well. I was there many times. And if I don't put my hands there, and if I did not help to my son to be clean well, many times when I had to stay back because I knew that I was annoying them, but I knew what could happen, and it's my son, the one that I was gonna get sepsis. They don't clean them well. They always leave a layer like a lotion, like a cream of feces. And you have to make sure that it's absolutely clean. Because if it's not, again, bacteria can go in the system, and out of nothing, out of just not cleaning the patient well, gonna get an infection. And if the infections get out of hand, in a second, go to the bloodstream. And then you have sepsis. What happened to Jeffrey was horrendous. Jeffrey has some wounds on his legs. Also, when in the hospital, we learned this, when you go to ER and they put in you what is called, that they put on you a tube for the urine. Right now my mind, it went out. Well, when they put those little tubes that they put for you for the urine to go into a bag, sometimes there it goes a bacteria, and through there you can get this bacteria that can give you sepsis. There's a bacteria that is in the intestines, and we have it in the feces, and the name is Klebsiella pneumonia. This Klebsiella can kill you in one day. If you are a normal person with a normal health, Klebsiella is 50% death rate, or 60% death rate. If your immune system is compromised, it's worst. When the doctor came to our room and asked us what was, we saw that they were coming, and they were putting Jeffrey IV, and they were putting these antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. And he said he has an infection. And I said, because it's very important to know what type of bacteria is, because some bacteria are more weak, more easy to kill with the antibiotics or with different types of antibiotics, but other ones are not. So I asked, what is the name of the bacteria? The doctor didn't want to tell me. My husband was there with me. He didn't want to tell me. So I asked again. He told me first, almost like, what is the point? You don't even understand. I said, what is the name of the bacteria? He replied to me, almost mumbling. And it doesn't matter, I won't understand. I said, this is the third time I'm gonna ask you, what is the name of the bacteria? And I said, not only that, because I don't trust them. I said, I'm going to walk to the monitor, the computer monitor, and I want that you show me in the monitor, because I'm going to write it down or take a picture of the monitor. I want to know what is the name of the bacteria. When he had no other choice but to show me, that's when he said, well, this bacteria can kill him in one day. But even then they knew that Jeffrey was in a compromising immune system. Even then, as soon they find out that the insurance was gonna pay Jeffrey staying there up to March 3rd, by March 1st, they were discharging Jeffrey. And one of the first things that they do when they're going to discharge you, so you know this, it doesn't matter that you are fully dehydrated. It doesn't matter how is your true condition. Jeffrey had sepsis. Jeffrey was a patient of severe brain damage. Jeffrey had many issues. Jeffrey should have been moved to ICU. But they knew that more likely Jeffrey was going to die. And they didn't want to have that dead in the count in their floor. So they were talking to me and acting that Jeffrey was stable. And they were sending Jeffrey home with us, for us to deal with Jeffrey in those conditions, for us to find Jeffrey dead in his bedroom, for they wanted that the blame of his death fall upon us and not on them. That sneaky and evil they have become. That unethical they have become. And when they said that they were going to discharge him, and they told us that Jeffrey was stable, and Jeffrey was going to die 72 hours after, the first thing they did is come into the room and disconnect him from the IV. That's the first thing they did, disconnect him from the IV. And every place we were was the same. The first thing they did when they knew they were going to discharge you, you see, pay attention. And right after that, you're gonna hear stable, discharge. They come and disconnect the IV. They don't care if you're stable or you're not stable. They don't care if you're gonna die at the corner from the hospital. They no longer care. They care about one thing: to keep their excellent relationship with the insurance companies that pay the hospitals, and the hospitals pay their salaries. This hospitalist, where Jeffrey was, at this hospital, at the Memorial Hermann Hospital of Cyprus, this hospitalist, she didn't even did or fight and did a peer-to-peer phone call with the insurance company and said, this patient is in a critical stage. This patient is in these conditions. This patient more likely is not gonna make it. This patient needs to be completely oversee all his organ functions and everything. This patient needs to be transferred to ICU. Nah, they don't care. Many people are dying of sepsis these days. That's my conclusion after I have been in so many hospitals for a year and a half. And we don't even know the data. All that is hitting. And I need that all of you send me stories of sepsis. And that now you guys start opening your eyes and your ears and being very watchful when you are in hospitals and you hear infection. You better start looking, asking, finding if your patient has sepsis. And if your patients have sepsis, you don't leave that hospital no matter what. They can come and tell you that they has been discharged. You tell them good luck to you, because we are not leaving. Believe me, I did that many times. They cannot kick you out unless you're full enough to be intimidated by them, because they're very good at bullying. They're very good harassing. They're very good playing psychological intimidation, calling security on you and intimidating you. They're very good start marching down the elevators with 5 or 6 or 7 people when you said that you're not gonna leave to talk to you, and maybe you're just one person alone, like me, 4 feet, 11 inches tall, with a son that is fully brain damaged. And let me tell you, there were times that 5 administration, doctors, and the head of nurses, whatever, were coming to talk to me just because I was saying, what's going on here? What are you doing with my child? What are you doing with my child? You need to do this. This is wrong. Because they want to intimidate you. They want to corner you. But if you stand and you say, no, they're so bad that at Methodist Hospital, at Houston Medical Center, when Jeffrey was in ICU, the case manager there, one time she told me, and Jeffrey was in a horrible situation. She told me one day, well, if you don't want to send him to a hospice or a nursing home, I'm sending you to your house. And I said, good luck with that one. Let's see who's going to open the door for you, because I am not. And as far as I know, you're not going to leave him on the streets, all right? Listen, hospitals have become a place of serious danger for us and for our loved ones. And you, as soon you put a foot there, you better be watching everything, and you better be strong, because the best advocate that you're gonna have and that your loved one is going to have is you. If you stand strong and you start finding out everything that is happening there. Because this last sepsis that Jeffrey had, it killed him. It killed him. Because they fooled us. Has passed a year and a half and we were tired. And it was the only time that I made the decision to trust what they were saying and not to read the papers. And Jeffrey, because of that, 3 days later, was dead. Send me stories of sepsis, please. Send me stories of sepsis and share your story with us. I'm going to put the email address where you can send your story.